Ever since he arrived, John Cena has been touted as one of the biggest heroes in WWE. His clean-cut gimmick and permanent face turn meant that Cena would never be turning heel. He always acted as a positive character with healthy habits, who would never indulge in anything sinister. WWE's portrayal of Cena drew many angry negative reviews from a large portion of the fans because along with his apparent allergy to anything which is not positive early on in his career, he hardly ever lost. While this has changed in recent years, back then the idea of Super Cena bothered a lot of fans. However, Cena remains one of the most popular wrestlers among children, and his message has inspired many, be it helping the special needs children or making appearances in fundraising or even learning Mandarin to be able to speak to the Chinese in their own language during WWE's tours. Cena appears to have done it all. There remains, however, a few secrets about the WWE star. In this video, we will be talking about the 10 secrets of Cena that WWE doesn't want you to know. Cena and Nikki Bella were portrayed as WWE's perfect couple, but as we learned more about their relationship, some fans started turning on Cena. When Cena was dating Bella, he made her follow strict rules and even made Nikki sign a 75-page contract, and detailed in that contract was what she could and could not do in the house, and that she will always be deemed a guest. This made fans think Cena was some sort of control freak. Now that Cena and Bella have broken up, Nikki is rumored to have a new boo while Cena is back on WWE TV once again. Looking at WWE and how it is today, it's impossible to imagine where it would have been if it had not been for the character of John Cena. The former WWE champion may now be trying out his luck in Hollywood, but at the same time, it's difficult to think of a situation where the leader of the C Nation was handed a character that would have surely seen him fail. When Cena first came to WWE, it was with the character of the prototype, which basically referred to the physique that he had developed. Cena has proved to be one of the best characters in WWE history and has shown what he is capable of to the fans and WWE management. And if he had been stuck with the characterless generic bodybuilder gimmick, he might have never seen the light of day. John Cena is known for being a person who gives chances to other stars nowadays. He put over Roman Reigns and The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He was not always like this though, as he would take on younger and fresher talent and bury them. He has been accused by numerous stars like Alex Riley, who says that he hampered their career from going forward in WWE. One public burial that everyone had to bear witness to was that of Nexus. Cena faced the group of young upstarts from NXT, and while he looked like he might face them in a match where he put them over in the end, it was not to be. Cena was left with 2-on-1 in the last moments of the Elimination Tag Team match, and he pinned them both, including their leader Wade Barrett. The Nexus was soon gone and no longer the huge threat they were considered when they first came to the main roster. Pro wrestling is a difficult sport, and just as difficult or even more difficult is wrestling with an upset stomach. Wrestlers often have to put on bouts while they are not comfortable or fully healthy. Such is the nature of the business. Stone Cold and CM Punk have gone through situations where they crapped in their tights, and Cena is no different. At a house show, he wrestled Scott Steiner despite being ill, and in the middle of his match, he had to go under the ring to relieve his bowels. In honor of Steiner, he took a big papa dump. In the current modern day WWE, spanking a female wrestler is an unthinkable act. When Cena first came to WWE, the ruthless aggression era was still in full force, and as such there were many moments which would never have played out today. In his gimmick as the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena rapped about spanking Stephanie McMahon. An enraged Stephanie challenged him to do it to her if he had enough courage to do this to the boss's daughter. Cena obviously went through, and a startled Stephanie hopped away. With the women's evolution going in full force now, no one from WWE's management would like to look back at that point in time and see Cena, the face of the charity work of the company, do such an act to the chief brand officer of WWE. Cena has perpetually been booked as the man who does not give up. He has been one of those stars who has been in WWE for a long time, in fact has had one of the longest tenures as part of the WWE roster. and he's never given up. However, that belief's false from the very basic sense of the term. He has tapped out on a couple of occasions, twice to be exact. Both times, he had nothing to be ashamed of, as he tapped out to two of the best submission artists in wrestling, once to Kurt Angle and the other time to Chris Benoit. While the fact he tapped to Chris Benoit is not publicized for obvious reasons, WWE has continued with the belief that Cena does not give up. Cena does not tap out. The instance with Kurt Angle also remains conveniently forgotten, despite the fact it most definitely happened, and the master of the AA gave into the pain of the ankle lock and tapped out. In WWE, Cena has a squeaky clean image to maintain as the babyface who never turns heel. He was not only the face of the company for the major part of its operations in the 2000s, he was also the face of the charity efforts including the anti-bullying campaign Be a Star. So naturally, WWE doesn't want you to know what Cena said when he went on the Howard Stern show. He had gone there to promote his film The Marine, but ended up talking a lot more about sex than anyone would have thought. He mentioned the fact that he had participated in an orgy with multiple women, and then went on to say that he had sex with a fat girl, calling her a 280-pounder. Hearing Cena talking about women in this manner is more than a little disturbing, especially since he goes to such lengths to keep his character PG. Cena's botch with Batista at the Royal Rumble in 2005 remains a mystery of pro wrestling. It was an amazing moment and Batista was supposed to win. The two of them were the last men remaining inside the ring at the time and thus looked like either one of them could have won. Both of them were in their prime and at the peak of their popularity as well. Either one of them winning would have been huge and the audience was waiting with bated breath to see what would happen. Then the unthinkable took place. Batista put Cena in a position where it looked like he was about to hit him with a Batista bomb. Unfortunately for everyone, Batista lost his balance and messed up the move. Both the men then fell over the ropes and to the outside of the ring. This was not supposed to happen. Not only did they both fall out of the ring, they both fell out and hit the floor at the exact same time. The botch was unthinkable and could not have gone better even if it was planned. Vince had to rush down to the ring to sort out things between them and restarted the match. He also tore both of his quads. This time, it was clear cut and Batista won. And another reason, as mentioned earlier, to not remember this moment was the fact that while rushing down and entering the ring, the chairman of WWE tore both quadricep muscles, and instead of standing up, which he tried to do, he ended up just sitting down in the ring and barking orders at both of the stars as well as the referees. No one realized it happened, and the chairman did not let anyone understand it either, not taking away from the moment. While WWE is known for being kayfabe and what happens there is known to be planned previously, but for the longest time WWE sold Cena's proposal to Nikki Bella at WrestleMania 33 to be on the spur of the moment and a completely genuine act. The truth is that it was as scripted as anything else. WWE is all about ratings and they had been building up to Cena's proposal to Bella throughout the season of Total Bellas. While it appeared it would never come, it was obvious to every fan that WWE was setting them up to propose on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. Cena and Bella had defeated Miz and Maurice earlier in the night, and after the match Cena got down on one knee and proposed. It seemed to be as spontaneous as any proposal, but it was not. The fact of the matter was that the proposal had been planned, and when Cena proposed, both of them had known beforehand. It was just another trick to help get their show better ratings. While Cena's apparent portrayal is as the clean-cut character who can do no wrong, his earlier avatar was far from the family-friendly wrestler that he is known as today. His gimmick as the rapper saw him using less than PG language as he took on different challenges. His moves are currently known as the AA and the STF, but they were not always known by the same names. The actual names of these moves were not family-friendly either, much like his character back then. The attitude adjustment was known as the FU, where the F obviously stood for the FU'd, while the U was a shorter form of U, if you didn't already know this. Similarly, his STF leg lock crossface move was then known as the STFU. Obviously, you can probably guess what that means, but if you don't, it means shut the F word up. Finally, the one move whose name was not changed was the 5-knuckle shuffle. It literally means masturbation, and while no one knows about it today, it was not a secret back then. And I can tell you from the perspective of when I was a child playing the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw games and playing as John Cena and using his finisher screaming F you, F you, F you, my family members were not very pleased. Since then, WWE became PG and changed the style of their content to better suit families and children, so the names of his signature moves were changed. And these are 10 John Cena secrets WWE doesn't want you to know about. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I'll see you later with more videos.